secret lair for Luisa, a punk rock Isabella, and some crazy magical creatures are just some of the fascinating scenes and storylines cut from the final version of Encanto. Hey guys, my name is Josh, aka The Hero, and today I'm going to show you some of the things you never got to see in Disney's Encanto. In an early draft of Encanto, the gifts for some of the Madrigal's siblings were a little different. Peppa was going to be indestructible, Dolores was going to heal with food, and Violetta was going to control the weather. So, Lin-Manuel Miranda actually wrote a first draft of a song that reflected these gifts. Posting on Twitter, Lin actually showed part of the lyrics he worked on. In fact, when Peppa's gift was going to be indestructibility, her character design was totally different. She was going to be a daredevil and was described as a wild and free spirit. And judging from the concept art, she looks absolutely magnificent. Now I need this version. How do you think things would have played out if the character's powers had been swapped? I think we definitely got the best version, but it is fun to think about. The team also originally considered giving Augustin and Felix powers when they got married into the Madrigal family, but they ultimately decided to keep the powers to only the Madrigal children. They made the decision to tie the gifts to family roles and expectations. This played into the fact that being an outsider without powers was tough, and they understood Mirabel throughout the movie. Before Bruno was named Bruno, there were several other names being considered, like Arlo, Andre, Anko, Marco, Erno, and even Oscar. However, he just wasn't grouchy. Ultimately, director Jared Bush asked Lin-Manuel Miranda which name he liked best, and he picked Bruno because it fit perfectly with a little song he was working on. In fact, Bruno's name was Uncle Oscar for a very long time. There's even a shared text exchange between the two that shows how Bruno came to be. The maestro already had big plans, and he delivered, with We Don't Talk About Bruno breaking Disney records. What Bruno looked like changed a ton during the development process as well. One idea the animators had was to have Bruno wear a rug he found in Casita instead of his signature hooded Ralma. In early designs for Camillo's iconic lyrics in We Don't Talk About Bruno, it was going to be more apparent that he transformed into a massive 7-foot tall version of Bruno, but the animation was changed for the final version of the film. But can we all agree that animators are just so freaking talented? An early idea for Isabella's character involved her magical gift, including the ability to bring plants to life. There was an entire idea that she would have cute little potato creatures running around. Just look how adorable they are. It's like Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, and I need them in my life now. Although every Madrigal gets their own special room once they get their gift, we never see Luisa's in the film. However, early concept art revealed that the animators did toy with designs for it. One design featured Luisa's room having a bunch of giant boulders that she literally had to keep up using her feet. She really had it the hardest, didn't she? I definitely understand the whole surface pressure song now. The Encanto creators toyed with the idea of having a small post-credits joke as well, but thought it would be better if the last scene from the film was the Madrigals all being together for the family photo. However, the original scene was going to feature Casita dropping water on Chispy, Antonio's capybara friend, after he tries to pee on the house. This is easily the most iconic character from this movie, am I right? So little screen time, but so much impact on us all. One of the early designs for Casita included the house actually being built on a mountain, and every time a family member got their gift, you could see a room added to the house. This idea resembled more of a big tree house. Just imagining this is magical in my mind and speaks Disney volumes so much. In one of the early drafts of Encanto, Alma's backstory was going to be revealed in Family Madrigal, aka the opening number. So Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote lyrics for Mirabel that described Alma building a house and having 3 children. In fact, Stephanie Patrice, who plays the voice of Mirabel, learned the song with these lyrics before they were scrapped. And Abuela was still expecting as well in this animation. When the Encanto creators were coming up with characters to include in the Madrigal family, there was an idea to have twins Amelia and Sophia. Sophia the first? Never mind, wrong Sophia. Their powers included the duo unleashing their powers and the crowd falling in love with Amelia and being scared of Sophia. This would have driven a wedge between the inseparable sisters, as Amelia represented all the beauty the twins carried, while Sophia represented all of the fears and ugliness. This would have been a very very interesting concept, following in the steps of the already sister successful story, Frozen. However, not going with it seems to be the right direction, as people may have gotten mad it was too similar in story concept. But there was also a character named Zoe who would basically fix any machine with her powers. The machines, like a broken clock or a busted toaster, would come to life, listen to Zoe, and know how to fix themselves. Man, if I only had those powers for real. Also, there was a broad idea for there to be a Madrigal sibling who was really good at playing pool, and he would have been a fortune teller. Bruno Jr. who? And at this point, you're probably like, dang, there's so many different things that they could have done. There's so many different ideas. What else are we missing? Well, there was also going to be a storyline involving Isabella being secretly in love with Bobo Marquez, a guy who lived in town. That's right. Just a guy. There was even a scene that featured Mirabel chasing Isabella through the woods and finding them meeting, with Bobo dressed in disguise as a bear. And just seeing this scene play out, it's so adorable, and I am kind of upset it wasn't in the final version of the movie. I mean, with Isabella being the golden child of the family and resembling a Disney princess so much, I feel like she should have had a love interest, but I also like the direction they went with. One of the ideas for Antonio's gift included him actually speaking through the animals, instead of being able to understand them and talk for them. He was also going to pay them in snacks he kept in a fanny pack he wore. Animal puppetry, one would say? But wait, don't we all do this for our animals at home now? We all have a voice in our heads that we think our pets sound like, right? Just me? In a deleted scene, Mirabel was going to have to enter Bruno's room through a secret entrance in Antonio's room. The scene featured Antonio and Mirabel traveling down a river, and then Mirabel entering Bruno's room through a crack in casita. This scene would have made their relationship even stronger than it already was in the final cut of the film. Originally, there was also an extended moment with Mirabel and her parents during All of You at the end of the film. The scene was going to be Augustine saying she takes after you, and then we see Mirabel leading the rebuilding effort, to which Augustine says, "That's exactly how you are," to his wife. And then Yoletta replies, "Oh honey, no one heals like her." And just saying those words and imagining the scene makes me tear up. That one would definitely pull on the heartstrings. It's crazy how so few words have such a deep impact and meaning. But the song itself was actually going to be a 7-minute long number. However, the film was already getting long, and the animators were simply running out of time to finish animating. So Lin-Manuel Miranda had to cut the musical number down to just about 4 minutes. To which I say, why Disney? I need a director's cut version now with the full 7-minute scene. You did us wrong. There was also going to be a scene where Abuela gave every Madrigal family member an assignment to do in town one day. But Mirabel had to stay behind at Casita with Augustine and Felix and do chores because she doesn't have a gift. This just rings classic Disney princess vibes, taking an excerpt right out of Cinderella's story. Mirabel is now a princess confirmed. There was originally an idea to have Mirabel actually run back to the city where Alma and Pedro fled from, and it would have forced Alma to return when she goes to find Mirabel. And part of this storyline involved Alma finding a mural in town that read, "To love at all is to love entirely." And I couldn't say it better myself. Isabella was designed with a classic Disney princess look in mind to reflect the golden child of Disney animation. Later in the film, we see her change her perfect look into something more herself and with bolder colors. However, the filmmakers also considered a punk rock version of Isabella that hinted at an even edgier vibe, though it didn't make it to the final film. This played into the fact of her not wanting the perfect life or the perfect husband like Mariano, but rather live her life on her own terms, such as wanting Bobo from earlier. And this goes into like the Disney norm of having princesses or princess-like characters like Isabella deciding that that is not the life they wanted and wanting to be their own person and discovering their self-identity. But what did you think of Encanto? And do you wish any of these concepts or ideas should have been in the final movie? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and sharing it with your friends. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.